We have done plant tissues in part 1. Now we will do animal tissues in part 2. And animal tissues topic is longer and tougher than plant tissues. Therefore, we are going to divide this into two parts. Let's look at the chart of animal tissues now. Animal tissues are of four main types: epithelial, connective, muscular, and nervous. Epithelial tissue, the job is to cover things. Wrapping paper. दुनिया में कोई भी चीज खरीदो वो एक पैकेजिंग के साथ आता है. वैसे ह्यूमन बींग्स के अंदर एवरी ऑर्गन इज पैकेज्ड इन अ स्किन. वी हैव आवर ओन एक्सटर्नल स्किन. द हेयर हैज आउटर स्किन, जो निकल जाए तो बाल खराब हो जाते हैं. Tongue has a special skin which has sensors to taste. Nose has a special skin inside to trap the bacteria. It's sticky. Ear has internal skin which is special with full of wax. Stomach के अंदर भी skin होती है, बाहर भी skin होती है. Epithelial tissue is entire covering of the body from inside as well as outside. Second is connective tissue. Connective tissue का job है to connect the body. Now imagine my head and my toes and my fingertips, they all are connected by something. Blood. Blood is present in entire body and it connects the entire body. Bones, hadka. The bones connect my body in a single piece. Fat, चर्बी जो चारों तरफ होती है, ये जो चर्बी है, this connects my entire body. So connective tissue which keeps the body in one piece. Third type of tissue is muscular tissue. Muscles allow us to speak, to move your eyes, to move your neck, body, run, play. So muscles. Heart is full of muscles and that's why it is beating. Lungs blow up and become smaller. That is also muscles. So we are literally living because we are breathing and our heartbeats are on. And breathing and heartbeats are directly related to muscular tissue. And the last is nervous tissue, which is related to thinking. Brain and transmission of signals is all because of nervous tissue. So epithelial, collective, muscular and nervous tissue. These are what we will cover in two parts. In the first part, we will do epithelial and muscular. And second part, we will do connective and nervous. This is a general discussion in textbooks, not at all important. Let's look at epithelial cells now.
In case of animals, where the body is expected to perform uncountable functions simultaneously, it is obvious that the number of tissues will also be innumerable, right? So how do we study all these? Well, we don't need to worry. For simplicity, we would prefer dividing all the animal tissues into four major categories depending upon their functions. Firstly, we have the one for protection, then another for connection, followed by movement and locomotion, and lastly for transmission of signals for quick and efficient work. Based on this, we get the four major types of tissues as epithelial, connective, muscular, and nervous. So in this video, let's begin with the first type, that is the epithelial tissue. As the name says, epi is above, thus epithelial tissue is the one which lies above the entire body, forming a protective covering. Along with covering the body, it also forms a barrier between the various organs separating them. Now the structure of the epithelial tissue is quite evident from its function. Yes, since it has to perform a protective layer, it cannot afford to have spaces between the cells. Hence, we find the epithelial tissue to have tightly packed cells forming continuous sheets. The tissues lack intercellular spaces and has extremely small amount of cementing material. So every single substance that passes in or out of the cells needs to cross the epithelial layer at least once. May it be any different type of epithelia, all of them will always have the cells resting on a thin, fibrous supportive membrane-like structure. This is called the basement membrane. The basement membrane, apart from supporting, helps to hold the cells together in a single straight line to form a uniform and consistent layer. Okay, so getting back to the types of epithelia, in order to study them, let's take a simple example. Imagine this to be a basement membrane. Now, depending upon the functions, let's classify them. So let's say the first function is filtration. What kind of structure should be present according to you? Yes, it needs to be a very flat surface. So this type of epithelium is referred to as simple squamous epithelium. Now let's take up the next function, that is absorption and secretion. For this, obviously we would need a larger surface area, right? Which is why we have these tall pillar-like cells on the basement membrane making up the columnar epithelium. Now at times, we need the strength or support along with the larger surface area. In this case, we slightly change the structure to cube-like cells and form the cuboidal epithelium. Lastly, we have certain organs that need specialized secretions. So in such cases, we need to modify a few cells that would perform secretion of specific chemicals like hormones or enzymes. These are called the gland cells, and the epithelium consisting of such type of cells is called the glandular epithelium. Well, this was about the epithelial tissue in short.
So you must have understood some characteristics of epithelial cells. Epithelial tissue are those cells which cover the entire body from inside as well as outside. Now let us look at their characteristics one by one as per textbook. Epithelial cells are covering cells or protective tissue. It covers the entire body, it covers all the organs, and it covers all the cavities. Cavity matlab khadda, a hole, room, pocket. Stomach के अंदर जगह है. This is a hole. Nostrils are holes. These are holes. There are a lot of places in the body which are empty cavities. अंदर से भी covering होता है of epithelial tissue. It's a barrier to keep systems and organs separate. Epithelial tissue एक barrier है which keeps organs separate. ये हाथ चिपका के रखो 10 दिन तक तो क्या मिक्स हो जाएंगे? कुछ नहीं होगा because there is skin between. Epithelial tissues do not allow things to mix. Examples: where is epithelial tissue present? In the skin, lining of mouth, inside mouth, lining of blood એટલે નસોની અંદર, veins and arteries के अंदर, मतलब vessels में, inside the lungs, in alveoli and kidney tubules. So basically it's present at a lot of places. What characteristics can we know from the textbook? Epithelial cells are tightly packed. They form a continuous sheet because its job is to protect, और protection करने के लिए एक continuous covering होता है. There is a small amount of cementing material also which we saw in the video. There is no intracellular space so that nobody can pass through. हाथ में थोड़ा सा पानी लो तो पानी अंदर चले जाता है बॉडी में? नहीं, because our body is kind of waterproof. Water cannot enter like that because there is no space between the cells. No one can enter or cross the epithelial tissue. They regulate the exchange of materials between the body and the external environment. बाहर और अंदर का जो आवन जावन है वो कंट्रोल करता है epithelial tissue. And last, they have a basement membrane from which all cells generate, which we saw in that video.
We've had an introductory look at the epithelial tissues in short. Now let's move ahead to know the types of these epithelial tissues in detail. Beginning with the first one, which is the simplest of all. The simple squamous epithelium. In this type, we find flat cells lying upon the basement membrane. These, being extremely flat or tile-like, are also known as pavement epithelium. Their flat nature itself states their function and locations. Such type is mainly used to transport or precisely diffuse substances across membranes and also perform filtration. Thus, where do you think we will find them? Well, think of the thinnest surfaces in our body, yes. The lining of blood capillaries, in the lining of alveoli, and also in the inner lining of mouth. Well, when we talk about epithelial tissue, how can we forget the skin? But wait a second, how can we afford to have such a delicate layer on the surface that covers the entire body? Well, it's simple. The same squamous epithelium comes in the form of layers. So several layers, one above the other, form the outermost layer of skin, which we refer to as the stratified squamous epithelium. Because of multiple layers, the stratified squamous epithelium prevents wear and tear of the upper surface of the skin. Now
The first type of epithelium tissue is simple squamous epithelium. Simple means a single layer. Squamous is the name. Where is simple squamous epithelium tissue found? Lining of blood vessels, नस के अंदर, alveoli of the lungs, esophagus, food pipe, lining of mouth. It is simple meaning made up of single layer. It is thin, flat cells with no gaps. So these are thin layer of covering around lining of blood vessels, alveoli, esophagus, mouth, etc. They are basically for protection, overall general protection. And remember, every epithelium cell has a basement membrane. So this is the basement membrane, and on top of that basement membrane you can find 4 cells, और वो 4 cell के ये 4 nucleus है. The cells are flat and thin. Skin is also squamous epithelium. It's flat, but single layer of cells easily will erode the skin. Skin फट जाएगी, damage हो जाएगी. It is not enough to protect the body. So what has nature created? Same cells के multi-layer बना दी, and we call it stratified. Stratified नहीं, stratified. Stratified squamous epithelium. और stratified का मतलब होता है multi-layer, and this multi-layered is mainly present in skin. Again, basement membrane, the bottom layer. बेसमेंट मेम्ब्रेन के ऊपर फर्स्ट लेयर ऑफ सेल्स, फर्स्ट लेयर के ऊपर सेकेंड लेयर के ऊपर थर्ड लेयर, एंड इफ यू ऑब्जर्व द लेयर्स आर गेटिंग फ्लैटर एंड फ्लैटर, एंड द टॉप मोस्ट लेयर के ऊपर भी एक केराटिन लेयर होता है. केराटिन इज अ प्रोटीन विच प्रोटेक्ट्स द स्किन. सो दिस इज the youngest cell, and this is the oldest cell, and one day this old cell will die and will be removed from the body. Skin गिरती रहती है, invisible होता है, दिखता नहीं है, but non-stop every day we are shedding this skin. एक साइंटिफिक स्टडी की थी, उसमें कहा था कि जब घर में झाड़ू मारते हैं तो झाड़ू में कचरा जो कलेक्ट करते हैं, तो वो घर के कॉमन कचरे में more than half the weight is of your skin cells. तुम्हारे फैमिली मेंबर्स के इतने स्किन सेल्स गिरते हैं कि दूसरे दिन जब झाड़ू निकालते हैं तो कचरे का आधा वजन स्किन सेल्स होता है, डेड स्किन सेल, एंड दैट इज फॉरेंसिक्स साइंस. फॉरेंसिक साइंस में वो साइंटिस्ट जो होता है सबसे पहले झाड़ू मारता है, झाड़ू मार के स्किन सेल्स होते हैं, स्किन सेल्स में डीएनए होता है, और डीएनए एनालिसिस से पता चलता है कि घर में कौन आया था, घर में कौन रहता है. Anyways, squamous epithelial tissue which is of two types, simple and stratified, thin without gaps.
The next type in our list is the one where we have tall, pillar-like structures. These are referred to as columnar epithelium due to the column-like appearance that they have. Now you may wonder, why do we need such tall cells for covering a surface? Well, such tall cells help to carry out absorption or secretion to a good extent. Thus, according to this function, the best example to locate this type of epithelium is in the inner lining of intestine. Well, sometimes a slight modification is also observed in this type. We find tiny hair-like projections called cilia on the surface of these cells. Now you may wonder, why do these cells need hair? Well, the basic purpose is to move the immovable. Yes, whenever you have certain non-motile substances or cells, then these cilia carry out rhythmic movements that help to move these substances. Thus, this type, that is the ciliated columnar epithelium, is found to cover the lining of the respiratory tract. Here, it helps to throw out the foreign particles trapped in mucus which enter the respiratory tract. Another location is in the fallopian tubes of the female reproductive system, where the cilia help to propel the ovum in the forward direction. Now, these columnar cells are definitely doing their job well, but at times, some substances aggressively pass through small channels which are lined by these epithelial cells. So then, along with absorption and secretion, we need support too.
Columnar epithelium cells. Columnar means shaped like a column. Pillar. The function is absorption and secretion. And where are they present? अब ये जो रेड और ब्लू टेक्स्ट लिखा है, that is only textbook, and textbook has very less information. Biology is vast, but the amount of information in the textbook is very limited. So you have to try to see outside videos which I am showing you right now and increase your knowledge. But marks चाहिए तो textbook का सब कुछ याद रहना चाहिए. So columnar epithelium cell have cells shaped like column, like pillar, and they are responsible for absorption and secretion. Absorb करना उर्दू में पता है, sponge absorbs water. Secrete करना मतलब जब स्पॉन्ज को निचोड़ते हैं तो पानी निकलता है, जब रोते हैं तो आंसू निकलते हैं, सलाइवा निकलता है, that's called secretion. कभी पिंपल हो गया तो इसमें से पस निकलता है. So any liquid coming out is called secretion, and any liquid taken in is called absorption. And absorption and secretion का काम करने के लिए columnar epithelium को बनाया. Location inner lining of intestine. क्या करता है intestine में? वो absorb करता है cells. क्या absorb करता है? Nutrition. When we eat carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, minerals, amino acids, everything is eaten. Who will absorb it and deliver it to the body? This cell. Columnar epithelium absorbs nutrition from the intestine. Apart from this, the video also mentioned few more places which you try to remember. अब कुछ columnar cells को special बाल दिए, ऐसे सिर पे बाल होते हैं. This hair are given for a reason, and they are not called hairs, they are called cilia, and the name is ciliated columnar epithelium. मतलब cilia वाला columnar epithelial tissue. The shape is like a pillar, but there is cilia or hair on the top. And काम क्या है? Cilia can move, and the movement pushes the mucus forward in the respiratory tract. ये देखो, these cilia can move, and their movement pushes the mucus forward to clear it. Thus, blah blah blah. तो एग्जैक्ट टेक्स्टबुक के वर्ड्स है ये कि सिलिया कहाँ होता है और क्या करता है. अब मैं एक बार समझा लेता हूं. ये है तुम्हारा नाक, ये तुम्हारा नॉस्ट्रिल, तेरी, और यहां से नीचे जाता है हवा, और ये तुम्हारा लंग्स. जस्ट अ रफ डायग्राम. ये तुम्हारी ब्यूटीफुल आंखें और ये तुम्हारे सिंगड़े। एनीवेज, तो ड्रैगन लग रहा है बट क्वाइट हैप्पी है, नॉट बैड। एनीवेज, तो when you start breathing along with air, there is a lot of bacteria and virus which comes inside your nose. You cannot prevent it. इसलिए तो आजकल मास्क पहन रहे, बट जब तुम मास्क नहीं पहनते हो and you take a deep breath, with every single breath there is bacteria entering your nostril and that bacteria is going inside. But lungs तक बैक्टीरिया पहुंचता नहीं। अरे वाह, क्यों नहीं पहुंचता? Because our inner lining of the cells is loaded with mucus. Mucus એટલે शेड़ा, चिकना चिकना। तो ये म्यूकस अच्छी बात होती है, उसको रिमूव मत करो, उसको धोते मत रहो। इट्स अ गुड थिंग बिकॉज द बैक्टीरिया स्टिक टू द म्यूकस हियर। अंदर की तरफ बैक्टीरिया सारे चिपक जाते, इसलिए लंग्स रहते हैं साफ सुथरे। बट 24 घंटे बैक्टीरिया चिपक चिपक के ये पूरी लाइन लोड हो जाएगी, ओवरलोड हो जाएगी। दैट्स वेयर ciliated epithelium comes into picture. Ciliated epithelium क्या करता है? ये है ciliated epithelium के कॉलम वाले सेल्स, ये है बाल। What does these hairs do? They push the mucus in the outer direction. चारों तरफ ऐसे बाल हैं और ये बैक्टीरिया से लोडेड म्यूकस को आगे धक्का मारते। So let's say the mucus which is loaded with bacteria is present here and here. That mucus is constantly pushed up to outside. और यहां पहुंचने के बाद तुम कभी कभी अकेले बैठे बैठे नाक खुतरते हो, वो क्या निकला? What is that? Scientifically, that is a ball made up of your mucus and lots of bacteria and viruses. That's why we say कि अगर तुमने नाक साफ किया तो पहले जाके हाथ धो के आओ, because this is a dump yard of bacteria and virus. तो ध्यान रखना to wash your hands. आजकल तो वैसे भी wash your hands का जमाना है. So columnar and ciliated columnar epithelium for absorption and secretion, present in intestine and respiratory tract.
Here the cuboidal epithelial cells come for our rescue. These cuboidal cells are found lining the kidney tubules, in the thyroid, and also in the ducts of the salivary glands. Lastly, we also find certain specialized modifications in these cuboidal cells. They attain the capacity to secrete important substances in the body. These are simply formed by inward folds in the cuboidal cells. The cells are called as gland cells and the tissue is called as glandular epithelium. So where will we find them? Yes, those parts involved in secretions like the salivary glands, mucus glands, glands secreting earwax, mammary glands, and also the glands producing digestive enzymes. Well, with this, we come to the end of the types of epithelial tissues.
Cuboidal epithelium, the third type. Cuboidal comes from its shape. It is squarish. It's like a cuboid, एक square डब्बा जिसके अंदर न्यूक्लियस है. So shape is like a cube. They are present in kidney tubules and ducts of salivary gland, and their job is to provide mechanical support. ये strong होते हैं, and जहां पे strength की जरूरत है वहां columnar की जगह cuboidal. बहुत लंबा बॉक्स होगा तो वो गिर जाएगा या टूट जाएगा, बट फ्लैट बॉक्स होगा तो उसको कुछ नहीं होगा, it will be very strong. So cuboidal epithelium is to give mechanical support and some of the cuboidal cells are specialized, and they are specialized as glands, जो अभी वीडियो में दिखाया था, और उसको कहते हैं glandular epithelium. So imagine there is cuboidal cells everywhere, not triangle, not circle, squarish cells everywhere, nucleus inside, and it is present inside some organ for strength. But if this organ wants to start secreting some liquid, then it needs a pocket. Pocket is formed something like this. These are the same cuboidal cells, and this pocket is full of liquid, and this liquid can be saliva, it can be tears, it can be digestive juices, it can be enzyme. Lot of things are possible. So it's called glandular epithelium. See this diagram, different types of epithelium cells, tissues are given here. This is just for revision. Diagram देख के भी काफी कुछ याद आता है. So diagrams are a must to be drawn whenever the short note is asked. Simple squamous, flat, without gaps, less cementing material for protection. But if you need extra protection, stratified squamous, present in our skin, multiple layers, strong. वेयर एंड टेयर होता है तो ऊपर का लेयर उड़ जाता है, नीचे का लेयर नए सेल्स आते रहते हैं. सिंपल क्यूबॉइडल फॉर स्ट्रेंथ, कॉलमनार फॉर एब्जॉर्प्शन एंड सीक्रेशन ऑफ लिक्विड्स. स्ट्रैटिफाइड क्यूबॉइडल भी होता है डबल स्ट्रेंथ के लिए. सूडो स्ट्रैटिफाइड मतलब नकली लेयर. एंड ट्रांजिशनल, you don't have everything in your textbook, this is from the internet, but understand science is much vaster than what you think. This is another photograph from the web. It's only for information, you don't have to by heart anything. Human being के mouth के अंदर stratified squamous epithelium है. You know, when you speak non-stop, your tongue is dashing with the teeth, your cheek is also dashing with the teeth and the tongue. तो यहाँ से skin निकलती रहती है और नई skin आती रहती है, घसारो थाई. That's why we need stratified. फिर हाथ के आसपास स्ट्रैटिफाइड क्यूबॉइडल होता है. टेस्टिकल्स सीक्रेट हॉर्मोन्स, टेस्टोस्टेरोन हार्मोन फॉर मेल, एस्ट्रोजन एंड प्रोजेस्टेरोन फॉर फीमेल. These come from stratified columnar. Then there is simple columnar in the liver or small intestine. Then there is cuboidal in the kidneys and simple squamous in the lungs. So we are covered with epithelium cells, and not only us, even animals have same type of tissues. Animals, big animals are very close to our body. उनको भी वही tissues होते हैं जो हमारे अंदर है. We are also animals after all. These are your textual figures. ये draw करना आना चाहिए. The blue colored is the basement membrane. So every epithelial tissue has a basement membrane. And from the basement membrane, the cells start to grow. Next is connective tissue, जो हम next lecture में लेंगे. So I'm skipping connective tissue right now and jumping to muscular tissue.
Locomotion is a boon to animals. We find plants moving and animals moving as well as locomoting. So what's the basic difference between the two? Well, movement is basically just moving a particular part, while locomotion is translocating from one place to another. Hence we say that plants only move, while animals can carry out both movement as well as locomotion. Now let's have a look as to how animals locomote and how the parts inside our body move. Wait a second, do parts within us actually move? Of course they do. Although we do not notice the organs inside us bouncing, they all move in some or the other manner. Imagine if one fine day the stomach and intestines stop moving. What would happen then? Well, it would be quite bad as the complete digestion process would stop. Similarly, what if our lungs stop contraction and relaxation? Well, needless to say, that would cost us our life. So then, who helps us with these important processes of movement and locomotion? Yes, it's the muscular tissue. As the name says, muscular means made up of muscles. The cells of this tissue are elongated and contain contractile proteins. Now, what could that be? Well, when we say movement, it means the muscles themselves have to perform contraction and relaxation, right? So for this, the cells have proteins like actin and myosin, which themselves contract or relax, thus enabling the muscles to do the same. With this, does this mean that the tissue will not have types? Because all muscles are the same, right? Well, actually not.
So another type of animal tissue is muscular tissue. Muscular tissue is for movement. But we saw that muscles move because of proteins inside it. Actin and myosin are two proteins because of which the muscles contract, relax. And this contraction relaxation helps me to move my body, move my mouth, speak, move my tongue, neck, everything, even eyelids. So everywhere there are muscles inside the body, outside the body, and this helps us to move. Let us look at muscles in detail as per textbook. Muscular tissue. Elongated cells. First characteristics, the cells are long and they are called muscle fibers. They are responsible for making the body move. They contain special proteins called contractile proteins. But see how badly your textbook had been written. Contractile proteins का एग्जाम्पल का नाम ही नहीं दिया है. नाम है एक्टिन, मायोसिन. Improve your general knowledge. Go a step ahead and learn this extra thing. कौन सी प्रोटीन होती है मसल्स के अंदर? एक्टिन एंड मायोसिन. Two different proteins which are called contractile proteins which help for movement of the body. How? By contraction, relaxation. Contract, relax. Contract, relax. That is how muscles are able to move your body. Let's look at types of muscular tissue now.
Muscles come in various types depending on their functions. So, are we trying to say that muscles in our stomach are different from those in our biceps? Of course they are. The fact that both serve different functions itself suggests that their structure and nature is going to be different. So, what are the various types of muscular tissue? Well, for simplicity of understanding, we divide them into three major categories: striated muscles, smooth muscles, and cardiac muscles. Let's have a look at each type. The first one is called striated muscles. Now, as the name suggests, striated means when we stain this tissue and observe it under the microscope, then it exhibits striations in the form of alternate light and dark bands. Where do we find this type, by the way? We find these striated muscles attached to the bones. Hence, they are also named as the skeletal muscles. Also, when we say attached to the skeleton, it means they help in movement of our hands and legs along with locomotion. So, can we say that their action is carried out according to our will? Absolutely. And that is the reason why we also call them the voluntary muscles. Thus, striated muscles are called as skeletal muscles and voluntary muscles as well. These are found to have a typical cylindrical structure due to wrapping of the long muscle fibers together. These are usually unbranched and multinucleate in nature.
Skeletal muscles is what we saw right now. This is the first category of muscular tissue in animals. Skeletal muscles are called skeletal because of many reasons, and the first reason is they are attached to bones. which is the skeleton system, therefore skeletal muscles. They are called striated because they have stripes. Their movement is conscious, means it is in our control. देखा क्या हुआ? I could not control coughing. छींक आती है, खांसी आती है, तो खांसी खानी पड़ती है. It is these muscles who decided कि खांसी खानी है तो खानी पड़ेगी, छींक आएगी तो खानी पड़ेगी. जानबूझ के कोई जनरली नहीं खांसता. तो खांसी आई, वो स्केलेटल मसल्स नहीं है, बिकॉज दैट्स नॉट इन माई कंट्रोल. अगर मेरे कंट्रोल में होता तो मैं लेक्चर के बीच में खांसी खाता नहीं, बट खांसी आ जाती है. नॉट इन आवर कंट्रोल, बट वॉट एवर इज इन आवर कंट्रोल इज वॉलेंट्री मसल्स. सो वॉलेंट्री, कॉन्शियस, इन आवर कंट्रोल, स्केलेटल, स्ट्राइटेड, ये सब एक ही चीज है, all related with each other. Skeletal muscles help you move your body. They are mostly attached to the bones for movement. They have alternate light and dark bands, which is called striations, जिसको मैंने stripes बताया. They are long, cylindrical, unbranched, multinucleated cells. ये सारी characteristics फिगर के साथ अटैच कर दोगे तो याद रहेगी. और फिगर ऐसा था, this is called a cylinder, which is a long cylinder, जिसके ऊपर stripes है, which has no branches, therefore more and more cylinders are attached with each other, and it is multinucleated, means many nucleuses are present. Next is smooth muscles. I will explain first, then we'll see the video. Smooth muscles skeletal का opposite है. Skeletal muscles is in my control. मेरी जुबान मेरे कंट्रोल में है, मुझे क्या बोलना है क्या नहीं बोलना है मुझे पता है. मुझे हाथ ऊपर करना है तो करूंगा, नहीं करना है तो नहीं करूंगा. But lungs, digestive system, heart, all these movements are not on our control, and these are made up of smooth muscles. So I'm changing my mind. Let's see the video and then I'll explain you smooth muscles.
On similar lines, we have the next type, that is the smooth muscles. These are also called as unstriated and involuntary. Now we can guess their structure and nature from the names itself. Smooth or unstriated because they do not present a banding pattern like the striated ones when stained and observed under a microscope. Instead, they have long spindle-shaped uninucleate cells. And why involuntary? Yes, because their activities are not under our control. So what could be their location now? Well, we find smooth muscles in the stomach, in the bronchi, in the uterus, and also in the iris of eyes.
Are unstriated. Previous one was striated, which are skeletal. These are unstriated, no stripes. The movement is not in our control, and that is called involuntary motion or involuntary muscles, which are not in our control. Smooth muscles. So smooth muscles are involuntary muscles which are not in our control, and they are unstriated, means they do not have any stripes. In fact, their shape is not cylindrical, it is spindle shaped. Something like this. It's present in the alimentary canal, in the blood vessel, in the iris of the eye, in the ureters, bronchi of lungs. See, at this stage, you don't have to become a doctor. So there is no point in asking what is alimentary canal, what is iris of eye, what is ureter. Dhire dhire, as biology develops, you will get to know everything. If you want to know, it takes 10 seconds to Google and read the first sentence. But remembering them is more important. Biology is the most scoring part of science. All you have to do is remember where are smooth muscles present. Alimentary canal, blood vessels, iris of the eye, ureters and bronchi of the lungs. फिर कुछ चीजें ना भी पता हो तो चलेगा, बट याद जरूर रखना, सब कुछ याद रखना पड़ेगा. We cannot control these muscles. They have long pointed ends. They are spindle shaped. I was drawing a spindle. Spindle एक convex lens जैसा होता है, something like this. Sharp ends, spindle shape. They are uninucleated, meaning they have a single nucleus. आगे वाला multinucleated था. And they are called unstriated muscles. So a nice difference can be created between skeletal muscles and smooth muscles. Now let's look at the last type, cardiac muscles.
Now let's take a look at the last type, that is the cardiac muscles. Again, the name is enough for us to state its function and location. These muscles are those found in the heart. So the rhythmic contraction and relaxation of our heart, or the working of our heart, is all because of these cardiac muscles. Although they are involuntary in activity, their structure is like that of striated muscles partially. They are cylindrical and branched, but uninucleate in nature. These muscles perform rhythmic contraction and relaxation tirelessly throughout our life. Well, this was about the three major types of muscular tissues: the striated, smooth and cardiac.
So last and final type is cardiac muscles. Cardiac muscles is in between smooth and striated. In little bit characteristics they are like smooth, few characteristics are like striated. They are slow, they show rhythmic contraction and relaxation for your entire life. Imagine, heart is that muscle which if it stops then you are dead. तो हार्ट एक ही ऐसा मसल है जो कभी बंद नहीं होना चाहिए. तुम जब सो जाते हो तो your body is as good as dead. All the muscles of your body are sleeping, resting, rejuvenating themselves, but heart is the only muscle which works tirelessly before you were born and will stop when you die. So it's one of the most important muscle cells of the body, muscle tissue of the body. They are involuntary, not in your control. They are cylindrical, branched, uninucleated. These are your textual diagrams which are important. Striated muscles में देखो stripes दिख रही है, and multinucleated, nucleus 1, nucleus 2, nucleus 3, etc. Smooth muscles में you can see the sharp edges. यहाँ से शुरू हुआ ये एक सेल, ये दूसरा सेल, ये तीसरा सेल. These are smooth muscles, uninucleated, single nucleus in every cell. This is yet another cell. And this is cardiac, which has branches, uninucleated with striations. Same figures which we saw in the video. That's the end of today's lecture. Two more tissue types, we will do it in third part. Thank you.